The ball shot, skittering puck in the red line, picked up by Max Olson. He dunks it down on net and deflects off the stick in front. Backhander by Zarisco. It's kept up by Uglum. Backhand feed out to the right point. Long timer by Hallback. Deflects right. They score! Out of deflection in front. Iowa State's moving on to the national championship game. The Cyclones come storming out of their bench. 2 unanswered goals to end it.
Up again, but almost a miscue there from number 18, Austin Killian survives a charge, and another huge hit. Johnson flattening Townsend.
A team of destiny, the Minot State Beavers have defeated the defending champion Adrian College as well as the #1 seed in this year's tournament.
19 American Collegiate Hockey Association Women's Division I National Championship Tournament, hosted by the Frisco Convention and Visitors Bureau, the Dallas Stars, and the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex Stars Center Ice Rinks. This is ACHA Public Address Announcer Andy Storrs. Our game number 1 today features on the visiting bench the number 5 seed Miami University Redhawks. And on the visiting bench, the number 4 seed Michigan State Spartans. Let's meet the starting lineups for this morning's game. First, for Miami, in goal, a freshman from Gates, number 60, Ripley Crosby. On defense, a sophomore from Chicago, Illinois, number 10, Christy. On defense, a freshman from Macedonia, Ohio, number 21, Kelly Single. At center, a freshman from Thamesville, Ontario, number 11, Audra Van Roboys. At left wing, a sophomore from Batavia, Illinois, number 3, Darby Edmondson. And at right wing, a sophomore from Ghana, Ohio, number 13, Emily. The head coach of the Redhawks is Scott Hicks. His assistant is Kaylee Mooney. And now let's meet the starting lineups for the Michigan State Spartans. In goal, a senior from Medway, Massachusetts, number 31, Catherine Hamer. On defense, a senior from Reading, Massachusetts, number 6, Juliet. On defense, a senior from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, number 21, Shireen Diffendahl. At center, a senior from Shaker Heights, Ohio, number 7, Kendall Anderson. At left wing, a senior from Eden Prairie, Minnesota, number 11, Ashley Astor. And at right wing, a junior from Livonia, Michigan, number 24, Julia Lutz. The head coach of the Spartans is Robert Blackburn. Ladies and gentlemen, would you all please rise and kindly remove all caps and face the flag. And join me, soloist Andy Storrs and organist Gary Lichthart, in the singing and playing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Oh, sing, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets that flare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star Star-Spangled Banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And now lineups and anthem completed, and we are set to kick off the ACHA Women's Division I National Championship Tournament. This is the 4-5 matchup between the 4-seed Michigan State University Spartans and the 5-seed Miami University Red Hawks. And Brent and Boz here. It's going to be a fun time for us this weekend. What are you looking forward to coming out in this best-of-3 series?
Well, right now, I mean, the thing, too, you kind of talked about it pregame. These two teams met. I think right now with this, the difference right now is the goaltender, Aaron Sparks. Miami, they kind of rode Aaron Sparks up until the semifinals last year, getting through that series. But I think it's a pretty evenly matched team, of course, or matched teams, of course, a 4 or 5, usually a toss of a coin. But right now, I mean, without Aaron Sparks, it could be a lot of Michigan State right now. I think they kind of are the favorites in this series. But, of course, whatever you see on paper, you throw out once you see the teams on the ice. So we'll see what happens in this game. Should be a fun one.
The records in the regular season, 19-6 for Michigan State. Miami comes in 14-7-4 on the season. As you said, no Sparks for Miami, which is going to be really key because she played in 16 games on the season.
Yeah, still a capable goalie in
Ripley Crosley.
Yeah, a capable goaltender over there on the other end as we get play underway here in the first period. Kind of an early start for us too. 10 o'clock. I mean, both Miami and Michigan Eastern Time Zone as the first shot gets turned away.
Played in a corner, now spun out of that corner. Christy Von Aulock, number 10, moves it along the boards. Sent further. Audra and Roboys, number 11, puts behind the net. Miami trying to work the puck out towards the top. They were in the national championship game not too long ago, this Miami team.
Yeah, a really good program. And of course, one of those, when you think about those big programs in Michigan State, you know, right now a Liberty or you expect them to be in this tournament every year and making some noise. And Michigan State always there. And a good program to be with. Of course, Miami, they've been in the title game a handful of times too, and even walked away with a couple of titles.
Puck put behind the net. Miami trying to get back to that point. Michigan State trying to get to that point. Their men's Division II program, a national championship winner as recently as 2013.
Yeah, a lot of good hockey in that Midwest corridor, or I guess I should probably say that Great Lakes corridor.
There's a shot that's deflected into the corner. I mean, we see it Division III level as well. A lot of those central-based teams coming out of that Great Lakes corridor.
Well, even last night, too, in the men's D1, Iowa State grinding their way. Didn't come on the right end of a championship game, but there nonetheless.
Well, a shot that's knocked aside, a rebound, kicked off into the corner. Ripley Crosley, the goaltender for Miami. Puck put around the boards. Board battle and out. Well, Michigan State were going to come out until it's intercepted. Sent right on goal that time. Good shot by the number 17 of Katie Cialis.
Yeah, Cialis, one of the top goal scorers for Miami. One of the top point getters. They're going to use her a lot. Main focus for the Spartan defense as they come the other way.
Sprint out 2-on-1 and a centering pass goes right across. And now the Red Hawks try to break out in the other direction. Not quite able to do so, Von Aulock. And back come the Spartans. There's a blast getting a piece of it. That time was Crosley. Behind the net, the Red Hawks look to come out to center. Puck stays in at the line. Good keep. Ashley Astor, number 11, but couldn't get towards goal.
Yeah, no support. The rest of the line needed a change right there. Back end of a long shift.
Center ice and a skate in. This is Lutz. Julie Lutz, number 24, puts it in front. And it's knocked aside by Crosley. Rebound around in the near sideboards, and then Miami controlling. Might not see many whistles in these games, Boz.
Probably, I don't think you will. The women's games tend to be a little bit quicker, just a lot less whistles. As yeah, no icing. I think that's a good rule in there. But yeah, a quick game, a little bit more of a technical game.
Oh, nice save in front and held on to. Good job by Catherine Hamer, number 31, to get the whistle.
Yeah, absolutely. There, keeping this a tight game in the first period. And of course, any hockey team they'll kind of revolve around goaltending and how well the goaltenders stand up. Is right now Miami winning that faceoff and grab into the puck as McManaman.
Played along the boards. A nice steal out in front. Sarah Gargaz, number 9, couldn't get towards the net. Here come the Spartans the other way. Long shot from the blue line, bounces wide. Kelsey Jankel, number 8, with that last opportunity, all the way down, and no icing. Winning the sprint down, Darby Edmondson, number 3. Pass attempt out in front, broken up, and now Michigan State behind their own net, trying to spin things around and up ice. A backhand pass, it's up and out to center. Moving forward, trying to step through, not able to do so. Maddie Walsman, number 3. Neutral zone play for the Red Hawks.
I think the thing to remember about the women's game too, there's a lot more ice just because you don't have the sheer size of the men that are out there. But I think the fun thing about the women's game is that skating. You'll see the skaters really start to shine, and really the puck handlers start to shine as well, because they do have to move through and move around the sticks of the defense that you're trying to weave through.
Katie Crum nearly did that, number 77. Puck to the near sideboards and comes out to center. Skating forward, Kelly Single, number 21, throws towards goal. It's wide, near sideboards, and now the Spartans will come back the other way. Scoreless game here, a 4-5 matchup. Promises to be an even one. Step, a nice move around. In comes Sarah Peterson, number 20. Peterson's shot blocked off, and now behind the net, Peterson once more. Takes a look, has a point pass. A wrist shot from there, blocked off. Attempted that time by Natalie Hornbuckle, number 22. Near sideboards, here's a skate out. 2-on-2 the other way. Nice speed here for Anderson. Kendall Anderson with a shot and a save made. Good one by Crosley. Rebound up the boards, out to center. Repelled that time by Shireen Diffendahl, number 21. But Miami still gains the Spartan zone. A lot of these teams have played each other in this tournament. The only matchups in this first round, this quarterfinal round, which is all best of 3, the only matchup that is among two teams that did not play each other this year is the 1-8, Liberty taking on Midland.
Yeah, I think right there, of course, Liberty, the defending national champions, they knocked off the Adrian College Bulldogs in what was a pretty fun match. It came down to the wire last year, and I'm sure a lot of people feel like that could be another matchup. But of course, you got to play the game to get there and win your series first. Of course, the best 2 out of 3 series, as you mentioned, Brett.
Walk around to the near side corner, and the Spartans now with some zonal possession. Skating around, Walsman goes towards goal, and a save made. Down low, rebound still loose. Back out to the point. McManaman tried to shoot through, couldn't do so. Tess McManaman, number 2. A centering pass out in front, broken up. Good zonal pressure right here. Jankel has it now. Kelsey Jankel puts behind the net. A backhand pass in front, knocked away. Morgan Graham, number 73, trying to get onto it. To the blue line, but another keep in by McManaman. And now finally this puck sent up and all the way down, no icing. Line change on for the Red Hawks.
Right, I think the thing too, just looking at the women's game, for those of you who aren't familiar with women's hockey, no checking allowed at any level of women's hockey. And I think what that creates is, it changes the way you have to play defense a little bit, just because you can't run at the puck possessor. You kind of have to use other ways of getting the puck off player's stick.
There's a shot, stick to the glass. I agree with you. You have to really, the basics of angling, pivoting, you know, all your fundamentals in hockey, you really got to hone down here at the women's level.
And I think the thing too, if you're a young hockey player, doesn't matter what age group or what level, if you're struggling wherever, this one might go for icing.
It will.
I think the women's game is great to actually look at because it shows you exactly what you learn about at the basics of hockey, taking good angles, getting to a player, making sure you're watching them and marking them the right way. Stick checking, stick lifting, those are all important games of the points of the women's game that you have to get down. And kind of back to the goaltending for Miami down at the other end, the goaltender there in Ripley Crosley, she has seen some game experience this season. She has only played in 9 games, however, does come in with a .910 save percentage and a 1.6 goals against average. So around where Aaron Sparks is whew, Miami almost getting an opportunity there.
Turnaround shot goes to the glass. And Crosley with that 1.65 goals against, so definitely a capable goaltender. On the other side, tending her net down the other end, Hamer got 2.32 goals against. Here's a skate out, 1-on-1. Good swipe. Nice little poke check that time by the number 10 of Christy Von Allock. Centering pass not quite there. Another wrist shot blocked down.
They have the first penalty.
Yep, there's the arm up. Penalty call coming. And it's going to be a cross-checking call. Off to the penalty box will go Von Allock. And one thing that's noticed is the linesmen don't have to worry about escorting the infractors to the penalty box.
I don't know how much chirping we're going to get, especially early in this, I guess, in these series. But I'm sure as these games progress, we'll get a little bit of chirping, but I think a little bit more. There's definitely a rivalry between all of these teams, and I think right now we're just kind of in the feeling out process of.
Pad save made in front. Good one at that. Rebound not cleared though. There's another one, another pad save and held onto by Crosley.
Yeah, good start to the power play for the Spartans. And doing a good job there. Number one, maintaining a couple of pressure, but also drive.
There's a scramble right in front of us here at center ice. Ertz had it, but then it's offside, and the whistle blows. At 1:47, Gravel scored for the visiting Rowan squad, but since then, 3 straight by the Beavers, 1 by Gowdy from Meade and below. We're waiting for the goal calls on the other 2. That's jab through and ends. Looking to make a play. Comes over to the near side corner. They gain the line and looking to get in is Bergeron. Sent on through to the far side. Turned and played in. Run over with Spirnak as she looks to move it up the near side wall and out. Stretch pass. So it's Wickham gets the second goal. Or the third goal. I don't know if they ever got to the second one. We'll see if we can get that in intermission. It's control again by the Beavers. Shots 18-1 through the first 9+ of this one. And they are looking for more. Below, moving through. Fights through a couple of stick checks and fires one in! They score! Below steals it and moves through 2 and in. And at 9 minutes, 27 seconds, Below gets the goal. And off and running are the Beavers. Game 1 of pool play, they started rough, but since then, 4 goals over a stretch of 5 minutes. Face-off, Below settles in on it. Plays it on back after a face-off win for Carissa Lewis to take control. She'll stop behind the safety of her cage, works its way around to the near side corner, comes up to the line where it's going to be held in for a moment by Lima, but then it was taken away and brought back again. Below looking for another one. Good job by Lima to fight her off. Below throws it through to the middle. Oh, and Render got over. Great stop by Render. Another centering pass, and then the defense collapsed on that one. Played on back to the point his way. Miller couldn't clear it. They take a look, and from the dot, and a drive, and that's a stop by Render, and the rebound squirts off into the corner. All Minot here. As it's look to play in the middle. Turn and shot saved by Render. And that's going to be a whistle here and a face-off. And a quick break. We're going to step aside here. Minot State up 4-1. But then there's no way to mute the mic.
Some chirping would be done. Some stick work would be done.
It's all fun and games until you go after the goaltender.
Yeah. And then all bets are off. I've seen that most recently in an NA3 game. That's a story for off the air. On the air, we send this puck around the boards. On the far side, Kelly Single trying to catch up to this loose puck. Couldn't. Eventually does so right in front of the Zamboni door. The leave off for the skate out. Near side, nice pass across. Genevieve Nantai, number 40. And another pass across just off the mark. Deflected, Nantai's got it again. Nantai in the corner. The puck backhanded along, and Miami, nice little shuffleboard poke, and it's out to center. Puck tied up right in the Dallas Stars logo at center ice before it's dumped into the zone line. Change on for the Red Hawks, and a polite tap on the back of an opponent to make sure she doesn't knock her over.
Hey, how about the tournament that the Stars have been a part of so far? They've done a great job. I mean, kind of some distances between the rinks, but the way this tournament, at least on the men's side so far, has gone, it's been pretty remarkable, pretty fun to be a part of.
Men's D1 and D2 crown champions yesterday by Sun goal and covered up.
Yeah, last year in Columbus, I don't want to say they were a boring series, but they're all sweeps. And that kind of just goes back to, rest is important, especially this time of the year. These women have been going at it since August and are at the very tail end of their season.
Face off controlled by Michigan State. And now to skate up to center ice. In the zone, trying to dip the shoulder, Morgan Graham. Puck put around the boards. Far side and out to center. One thing, too, that from what we've seen in men's Division 1 and 2 is the pace in terms of the speed tends to be a little bit slower. Not because of the desire or anything, just because of the sheer size of what we had to deal with men's 1 and 2. And even men's 3, the pace is much slower than men's 1.
Yeah, I think you look at the men's 1 level of hockey here at the ACHA, and truth be told, I think they could probably beat a couple of NCAA Division III teams.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And I think to that argument, too, is you have Arizona State University, which traditionally...
Backhand shot just goes over the bar.
It's traditionally not a hockey state by any means, just by sheer factor of the climate there, but it's their 4th year after graduating from the... I should say moving up. Arizona State has a very prominent and deep...
Collapsed nicely as Gravel helped force that play, and they do force a turnover out at center. That's knocked down right in front of us here at center ice. We've got a pretty good perch here, and that was left, and finally responding to it and making a play and a spin back here is Arnson. Cutting on through, moving in, right wing shot, saved the rebound, is scored! And I think on the backside that was deflected in. Below, I believe we'll get the goal as it was tipped in by her. And at 14 minutes and 13 seconds, put another one on the board for Minot. Center ice face-off after the goal. It's dropped on back as it was 1 to the point, and now they look to bring it in. That's Gravel over the line. Thrown towards the cage and just kind of stuck off by Fohog. Turning up high. They hold the line for a moment, and now they do gain control over the line, and there's a shot, and that skitters off. Is doing good work in there is Juliana David. Puck is going to be played around. They say Grimstad from Janssen, so 22 and 4, and they're in again. Breaking, shooting, oh, and Render makes that stop on a good one right there. And then it looks, they may have changed that because I could have swore it was different player in front, and I think I just heard Gowdy on a recall. Let's see if we can't get this all straightened away for you at the intermission and run this back down. Anyway, you cut it though. Minot State with a beautiful start here for them with just, well, what do we got? 15-22 into the period. They lead 7-0, out shooting the opposition 27-3. And they're in control in the offensive zone. Dropped on back and a point shot there.
We got to that in the second 2-on-1. Van Roboys couldn't get through, however. Still second effort. And here's a wrist shot and a save made. Rebound on the doorstep is put just wide. Darby Edmondson was down low and the rebound out to center. But yeah, it's a testament to all of the players in the ACHA. The ladies that we are seeing out here now is that they can balance it. Academics, athletics, and a work environment and still excel at all three.
Yeah, absolutely. And the level, like as we talked about, the fact that they can still do it at a very high level is pretty remarkable. And even on both sides, we had an ACHA university team go out to Europe and compete out there.
Shot deflected just wide. In fact, there were two teams that went to Russia on the men's side. The men's Division III select team and Florida Gulf Coast University, the now two-time national champions.
Yeah, how about Florida Gulf Coast University, best 3 out of 4. May you throw the word dynasty out of Florida in the D2 division?
You can do that. You don't have to tiptoe around that issue. Center ice and Michigan State in possession of the puck. A nice curl right center ice logo, and in the zone with this is Anderson. Anderson, little rat play pass and a save made. Rebound kicked into the corner, and we get ourselves a whistle.
Yeah, and that came off of Morning. I mean, speaking of dynasties or even powerhouse programs, you're kind of looking at one in Miami. They've been involved with the championship in some way or another, either being in that semifinal game or winning a championship, sometimes even being a part of that championship game. Of course, it's kind of bounced between Liberty and Miami the last handful of years in the women's Division I division, and I'm sure Miami's looking to get back after being absent from that game, losing to the runner-ups in Adrian College.
Now is the game in Columbus as that's covered up, so not too far from their campus. They had a very big crowd for that championship game 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And Liberty knocked off Adrian last year in a thrilling game. All three of those teams here. We're watching Miami now. Adrian gets going at 4 p.m. Miami and Liberty caps it off at 7. If the chalk holds up above, the winner of this matchup would get Liberty in a single elimination semi. As the first period comes to an end, we saw 1 penalty, we saw 17 total shots, 10 for the Spartans and 7 for the Redhawks, and we did not see a goal put into the net after 20 minutes of play.
Yeah, I think at this point you're trying to, you feel the first 20, see how it goes, see how other teams going to play. And I think both teams had solid rushes on both ends of the ice. So I think we'll see a little bit stiffer hockey and both teams try to impose the rule in the second 20. Or Brett.
But before we go to break, do you think the first goal opens the floodgates?
I don't think it does. Just the way that these teams are matched up and the way that we've kind of seen in the first period, I think you kind of have, number one, you have to be resilient here just to get here. And I think both teams do have that quality about them. So I think the fact that I don't think one goal is going to open the scoring up, but I do think that it's going to wake the other team up, and we'll have a fight on our hands after that first goal.
We'll find out what the second period brings. Our score after one is Miami nothing and Michigan State nothing. You're watching the 2019 ACHA Women's Division I National Championship on the ACHA Network.
You know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy! Come on, Timmy. You got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus. Come on, Timmy. Focus. Focus. Take the puck. There you go. Skate. Skate. Pass it. You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck. Come on.
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like even more than birthday cake.
There are a few things that come along that change the course of history. Inventions or developments that reshape society. They usually aren't appreciated at first. In fact, they're often scoffed at. What good will that be?
Hello? Hi.
Surely that can't be practical.
She loves to see you.
But then, slowly, over time, the greatness of these achievements become manifest.
Hi!
Until one day, you ask yourself how you ever lived without them. That's the nature of turning points. They bring us to new roads and new heights. They open doors we never thought possible. So it's important that we go forward together.
I'm here with Gina.
That our growth might not just benefit the great, but the good also. In small ways, and in grand ones.
Dad.
The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much. It is whether we provide enough for those who have too little.
At Wilson Electronics, we push every day to amplify the power of communication, to connect those who love and those who cannot live without it.
Dallas, Texas, in a stadium that has been sold out for months, the Cotton Bowl.
Notre Dame leading 17-14. 1:10 remaining in the game, and Texas will Street at quarterback. Street gets to the second man for a touchdown for Texas.
The 2020 Bridgestone NHL Winter Classic, an annual celebration of hockey's heritage. Tickets on sale April 23rd. The Cotton Bowl, New Year's Day. It's gonna be a classic.
The Dallas Stars, have put on camps like this, and we're just really trying to build hockey in the communities around Dallas.
Learn to skate and play hockey for free at Children's Health Star Centers. All throughout DFW, kids ages 4 to 14 can join Rookies programs presented by Lexus. Equipment is included and kids will get a free jersey to take home. For more information, visit dallasstars.com/rookies.
Come on. You know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy. Come on, Timmy. You got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus. Come on, Timmy. Focus. Focus. Take the puck. There you go. Skate. Skate. Pass it. You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck. Come on.
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like it even more than birthday cake.
There are a few things that come along that change the course of history. Inventions or developments that reshape society. They usually aren't appreciated at first. In fact, they're often scoffed at. What good will that be?
Hello? Hi.
Surely that can't be practical.
She loves to see you.
But then, slowly, over time, the greatness of these achievements become manifest.
Hi!
Until one day, you ask yourself how you ever lived without them. That's the nature of turning points. They bring us to new roads and new heights. They open doors we never thought possible. So it's important that we go forward, together.
I'm here with Gina.
That our growth might not just benefit the great, but the good also. In small ways, and in grand ones.
Dad.
The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much. It is whether we provide enough for those who have too little.
At Wilson Electronics, we push every day to amplify the power of communication, to connect those who love and those who cannot live without it.
Dallas, Texas, in a stadium that has been sold out for months, the Cotton Bowl.
Notre Dame leading 17-14. 1:10 remaining in the game, and Texas with Street at quarterback. Street gets to the second man for a touchdown for Texas.
The 2020 Bridgestone NHL Winter Classic, an annual celebration of hockey's heritage. Tickets on sale April 23rd. The Cotton Bowl, New Year's Day. It's gonna be a classic.
The Dallas Stars have put on camps like this, and we're just really trying to build hockey in the communities around Dallas.
Learn to skate and play hockey for free at Children's Health Star Centers. All throughout DFW, kids ages 4 to 14 can join Rookies programs presented by Lexus. Equipment is included and kids will get a free jersey to take home. For more information, visit DallasStars.com/rookies.
Back here in Frisco, Texas. Michigan State bouncing up and down. Loose out of the locker room. Miami just stepping out now. No score. Michigan State and Miami going into the second period. And Boz, 20 minutes in. Not too many scoring opportunities in that period, but an even period nonetheless.
Yeah, it was a pretty even period as they're coming kind of hot right now. Shots 10-7, but I think just off of scoring opportunities, they're pretty even as it is, pretty even goaltending as well, and the goaltending's been spectacular. I think that, however, we did look at Michigan State prior before we came back on. They look pretty loose right now, especially early in tournaments. And throughout tournaments, I like the groups that come in pretty loose. It's usually a good sign for your team if you're coming in ready to go, kind of just having fun, enjoying the moment of being here. Because you kind of hear it when you're coaching too. When you end up in postseason play, you don't want to overcook it, but you also want to enjoy the moment.
Right.
And right now, you can see Michigan State enjoying the moment, and they've provided themselves with a couple of opportunities as Miami leads a breakout right now.
Center ice, that's broken up. And now right along the near side boards, everybody going down to the ice. Still a puck being fished for and finally worked free. Miami in the red, going from left to right here in period number 2. Michigan State, the white jerseys, going from right to left. And a back skate before the pass made, trying to find Ashley Astor. That's broken up. Good sweep check that time with the stick actively. Puck into the corner and worked out to the high circle. It was a slow roll around goal that'll be covered up and held on to for the faceoff.
Yeah, you won't see a whole lot of rippers coming from the point at this level. I mean, usually reserved for the Hillary Knights of the hockey world, but always a good idea just to throw it in front of the net. You never know what bounce it'll take, what deflection. Of course, hockey and most sports, a game about angles, and if you get the right deflection with the right angle, that puck's going to find the right side of the net.
The Hillary Knights, Lamoureux twins, you know, you can go on and on. There's so many talented women's players that would probably twist me inside out like a pretzel if I played goalie against them. There's a face-off again.
Kind of park yourself in goal and, you know.
I'd get my equipment on and just pray.
Well, and what's tough too, Brett, is that, you know, hockey players, especially like at this level, they're skilled enough to where, and they're taught, you know, don't throw it at the net where the goalie is, throw it to the area of where you know your teammate should be to see if they can get a stick on it and redirect it in.
Right. The other one, which has become a lost art until recently, is the inside pad shot.
Yeah.
Which to me is one of the best passes in hockey. Well, that's a nice pass ahead. Here's a breakaway opportunity. The move in, and a save, and a brilliant one at that by Crosley off the breakaway attempt from Graham.
A heck of a save by Crosley. And as the goaltender, it's a hard job too, because you really have to outweigh that that puck carrier and make them react to what they're going to do. And sometimes when they get closer, force a move, but that's great patience there by Ripley Crosley.
Or be flexible as well in this day and age.
Yeah, that helps.
Because Jonathan Quick comes to mind. In the meantime, a 3-on-3 skate the other way, and a shot that goes wide. Then again, Jonathan Quick is the equivalent of pinball flippers.
It does look like pinball flippers when he's in the net.
He's won a couple Stanley Cups with those flippers, though, so it's all good. Not that I'm arguing. Here's a shot, nice save by Crosley again, who's looked very sharp in this game, Boz.
Yeah, and I wonder if this is going to be one of these, one of those goaltenders that end up getting better with time. The more shots they see, the more comfortable they get in inside of the crease. And if that's the case, that's going to be very frustrating for the Spartans.
That puck goes out of play. We get a face-off, 3:01 into the second.
Yeah, so far good rushes on both ends. Of course, I think Michigan State with the higher opportunities here, looking to break through.
Center ice face off, and the Red Hawks control. You know how it goes. Any level of hockey, if you have a hot goaltender at the right time, anything is possible.
Yeah, you saw that. I mean, the Penguins have rode Marc-Andre Fleury and then Matt Murray for a while, and even the Vegas Golden Knights last year riding the Flower train. They were Flower powered on their Stanley Cup run. Of course, came a little bit short, but Flower power keeping the Golden Knights in for a while.
Yeah, I mean, all the way on the run, and then they ran into a goaltender who was still playing pretty good at a high level in Braden Holtby as well.
Yeah, I think too. Like we always talk about the offensive players, the the Darby Edmondsons. If you're Miami, you look at those type of players, the Matty Wolzmans. If you're Michigan State, but you forget that hockey has to revolve from your goal out, and if you have a good backstop and you have great defensive pairs, that leads to pretty solid offense. I think we saw it yesterday in the Iowa State, Minot State game where Iowa State couldn't even get out of the defensive zone just because of the forecheck. And they're having, as soon as Minot State got that puck out, it was staying in that Minot State zone. Or the Iowa State zone, I should probably say.
Puck moved behind the net and then around the boards. And right now, it's been from the goals out in this one because both goaltenders have been sharp in this game. Side of the net, still no stuff home. Trying to spin out of a check and throw to the front of the net was Graham, couldn't do so. And the Red Hawks back out to center. Onside skate, 3-on-2. That shot, good block that time defensively, as attempting was Edmondson.
Yeah, definitely kind of tough to lose games if you don't give up any goals.
Ava Gawley, number 15, was the one that blocked the shot. And now here come the Spartans.
Got a chance on the breakaway.
Long pass is going to miss the mark, but the first one down there will be Graham. Set aside by Crosley. Puck slung around the boards, coming to the near side. Centering pass in front. Crosley just sticks to the far side boards. Slap shot from there, blocked down, a bouncing puck in the slot before it goes across to the far side and then sent up and out of the zone by Amanda Puglisi, number 7. Red Hawks control. 5:20 gone by here in the second. No score still between Miami and Michigan State. First game of what's the best of 3 series in the quarterfinals here at the ACHA Women's Division I. Center ice and a skate in. Trying to go for the stick lift as Gargaz couldn't do so. Really, and is a turnover and a save made as alertly Hamer grabs hold and covers.
Back on the other end of the ice, Amelia Schroeder. I just want to go back to the play that she had. I know that we don't have a replay, so we can't take a look at this, but just a great hockey play. I mean, she picks her head up after intercepting the pass, knows that her teammates are coming back, checks to see that they're onside. She pulled up for a little bit and then exploded in the zone, created another opportunity. That's just great hockey sense right there.
Face off to the right of Hamer and controlled right at the blue line. Puck just sticking on the line right now before finally out to center. 12 shots to 10 in favor of Michigan State. And into the zone. Quickly, the Spartans back out. Now it's a 3-on-2 going the other way. A right wing pass in. Anderson centers it in front and a shot over the bar deflected. Lutz with the opportunity on the doorstep.
Maybe saw that wide open net, got a little giddy right there, thinking that you might have that fire off the opening salvo, but maybe a little too much adrenaline pumping through the. I'm not going to say veins; that'd be incorrect. It's the arteries that they'd be pumping through. A little anatomy lesson.
Oh, we all learn here. Onside, Anderson gets the glass. Rebound behind the net. Anderson centers in front for a shot that's blocked off. And Michigan State with some good opportunities here. Puck put around the boards to the near side. Slugged along further, but cut off. And coming in to help out was Walsman. Behind the net, first on it, Peterson. Puts up to the blue line, but that doesn't clear. Jekyll on a nice keep. Michigan State trying to set something up and hit the post with the shot. A sneaky shot that rings off the post.
Was that a double doink? It sounded like it hit two.
I wish we had a replay for this one. Now puck at the blue line. Here's another shot that goes wide. Well, we've had our daily dose of iron right there. Still kept in by Michigan State. A lot of zonal pressure here.
Well, the officials, I'm not sure if that was Jenna Tauschen or Kendall Hanley, but one of them were there to make that call. They had the best angle at it, just well positioned. But man, a double doink that prevents the first goal.
There's a shot and a save made. Crosley, she holds. Gives us a chance. We'd be remiss if we didn't tell you. Bosch just mentioned the referee. Oh, we got one. Let's see if it is a double doink.
Oh, it went off the post and then off the goaltender and back out. Oh, that's the sound if you're Michigan State. That'll give you nightmares.
Jenna Tauschen, Kendall Hurley, the referees, Stephanie Simon and Sarah Hickman with, in quotes, the best of the linesmen.
Well, Sarah's been on top of her calls. So far, the toughest ones there. Probably just icing in this game, but you know, you do have to be the best to officiate these games at this level.
Absolutely.
So you could definitely apply those quotations amongst any of these officials on the ice currently.
There's a skate out, 2-on-2 the other way, and a dump in.
We'll call it a double doink of sorts. It was off iron and then off the goalie.
Yep. Still have plenty of iron in it.
Normally when that happens, you see it bounce off the back of the goalie and into the net. Not the other way around. And
you could hear and that hits the post. So each side's rang one off the bar, off some kind of metal. Here's a shot that goes wide. Anytime you could hear the ping on that post earlier. Here's a shot that's a block. Good diving block that time, and now out to center.
Well, if you're a goalie, that might be the most gratifying sound you hear. If you're a shooter, that might be the sound of terror, or maybe the sound of a ghastly tornado on its way.
The problem with that is sometimes you ring one off the post and in, and then it's all sorts of highlight reel.
Of course, you go to drop in, and that's the point of emphasis, especially if there's no goaltender, post or crossbar. Right. So you go to drop in, and that's what you're. When there's no goalie there, you're aiming for a post.
A few years ago in the Division II level, here's a breakout the other way, long shot and save made with the stick and blocker into the corner. William Patterson University played a game a couple of years ago that Adam Papadopoulos was the player for William Patterson, and he had one of the most ferocious slap shots from the high slot I've ever seen. And it rings off the crossbar and down. I think as this is covered up, that was at Siena, so it was up in Albany. And you could probably hear that thing back in New Jersey. It was so loud hitting the post, hitting the crossbar. Now those types the shooter loves, because then you're celebrating afterwards.
Yeah.
No celebrations yet here, still scoreless with 9:56 to go and immediate timeout. This is the ACHA National Championships on the ACHA Network.
The 2019 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Barron Championship Rings, proud sponsor and championship ring provider for the ACHA. Warrior Sports, the preferred stick supplier of the ACHA. the Dallas Stars. For tickets and more information, visit dallasstars.com. And Southwest Airlines, the official event airline partner of the 2019 ACHA National Championship.
.56 to go, second period in a scoreless game, Miami and Michigan State. And we've had some opportunities recently, Boz.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of shots that just rang off the post. I think I could still vaguely hear the ring. I'm sure if there's some dogs walking around, their ears are still perking up from those shots and the carry of it. They might be we're in Frisco. They might be down in Houston right now, hearing the echoes of those shots.
No, that was definitely a ringer. Off the face-off. Those are the types that goaltenders hear often. When you hear that ping.
Might be music to their ears most of the time.
Yeah, usually leads to sweet dreams at night.
Patrick Waugh and the goalpost had a very intimate relationship through his career.
He always showed his appreciation. A shot hits off a shin guard a couple times and a save by Crosley. Rebound kept in the corner. Shannon McKenna, number 5, fed it out. And a shot that's deflected wide. Morgan Graham, who's put her stamp on this second period, trying to fight for the rebound, and eventually comes out to center.
Yeah, maybe he had an opportunity to bat one that in, but that wouldn't count as a goal. The only way you can do it is either shoot it off your stick or have it deflect off of something without a motion that would be deemed as intentional.
Turnaround shot, and then we get a whistle down to the ice, Crosley. And there might have been some inadvertent goaltender contact, and will cause the whistle.
Keep the goaltender safe. Face-off will come out of the zone. It looked like there as Maddie Wolzman was talking with the linesman a little bit. But so far right now, Michigan State kind of flexing their muscles and their skating abilities through the first 31-10 of the game.
Turn around, and the Spartans back in the zone once more. Put around the net. It's been an even matchup so far. As we've said earlier, both goaltenders sharp in this one, which bodes well if you're the type of good goaltender.
Defensive battle. Does have its offensive opportunities.
There's a save through a screen that time, and a good one at that by Hamer. I submit that for evidential approval. Blue line, and then taking her eye off the puck that time was the number 10 of Christy Von Allock, so back out at center.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't think that puck came out of the zone. It was sitting around the blue line. Would have liked to see Von Allock just get that one deep. Right now they're getting a change too, so quick change in the second period. Yeah.
Offside is the call.
Yeah, sometimes when that middle frame with that long change, sometimes what it comes down to is just sending it back deep and getting that change. As you see Miami finally get one. So it would have been nice to see Von Allock just fire that one deep and change the lines up.
Redhawks control the face-off. Pass up the boards, and from center ice, dumped in.
Sometimes fresh skater is a better idea than puck possession.
Shifted around down low. Centering pass never quite gets there, so into the corner we go.
Of course, Brett, I think Miami may have heard me, though, because they do get that change, and so far they maintain puck possession. But I might just be cursed because every time I say something, we change hands.
2-on-1 the other way, and a shot over the bar. Rebound behind, a centering pass kicked out in front. Turnaround shot wide, courtesy of Kendall Anderson.
Right idea. Anderson standing tall to the task. She's a big body, a big presence in front of the net, and using her frame to cause some kinds of problems in front of the Miami goaltender and Ripley Crosley, who's done so far a marvelous job stopping all 13 shots she's faced.
Kendall Anderson at 5'7", which in the women's game is a fairly decent height there. It's going to definitely provide some strength down low. This goes all the way for icing. So face-off to come to the left of Ripley Crosley, the Miami goaltender, a freshman out of Gates Mills, Ohio.
Yeah, I think too, Miami's going to have to keep their eye on Kendall Anderson. She has 20 goals, 15 assists for a healthy total of 35 points on a goal coming in. And then the other thing too is she definitely racks up the penalties and minutes. She's she has 35 this year.
I guess we're going another media timeout. Well, there's a timeout somewhere.
I'm trying to figure this one out. I didn't see any of the official signal. What's going on?
They're talking to the booth. Timeout Redhawks.
Okay.
There we go.
Well, it might be a weird timeout to probably most of the hockey world, but plenty of NHL coaches, they've mentioned the fact that, hey, sometimes like we may be ahead, it may be a tie game, but there's times I just feel like our team needs a timeout, and I'm going to call a timeout as a coach, just for the sole reason of that's what my gut tells me, and we'll see how this works. I mean, I don't know what's going down in Scott Hicks's head right now. He's the only one that could kind of explain that timeout, but I've heard multiple coaches. I mean, Peter Laviolette, one of them, he was here yesterday. He's mentioned a couple of times. He's like, yeah, like, you know, if we need timeout for whatever reason, my gut's telling me we need one, I'm gonna call that timeout. And then what's interesting about it too, you do get that media timeout. So in a way, you're provided with 3 extra opportunities for a timeout in a hockey game where you normally don't get that in the regular season.
Turnover down low, but the active stick that time of Hamer prevents anything from cutting to the front of the net. Now in the corner, Edmondson trying to spin it back lower. Instead, it's repelled and out to center. A pair of players collided off the puck.
Graham right there causing that turnover for Michigan State.
And now into the zone. Graham spins further and takes a tumble to the ice, courtesy of Emily Sloan, number 13. This goes all the way into the Michigan State zone. Sometimes as a coach, so you see that your team doesn't have that edge and you need to call a timeout. He may see it at the ice level better than we do up here.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes maybe the effort's just not there, or maybe you just see that the other bench has a little too much momentum for the way the game is.
Here's a break opportunity using speed. Lutz into the zone, and a save made and a hold on by Crosley.
I think that's a great back check, too, for Miami. That was number 10 and Chrissy Von Allag just getting back there. And it wasn't a back check in the sense of we think a back check of actually, like, knocking the stick off. It was a back check of the sense that she got even with her player and forced a low-angle shot and a low percentage shot. So we talk about being smart with it hockey, even if you're not like going to rub the person off or knife the puck off the stick, just being able to create a different angle of approach for a player that's breaking in, trying to get a scoring opportunity. That's well done.
Spin, and now here comes Michigan State. First time we've seen Michigan State really forecheck this aggressively in this game. A lot of it's been blue line, but now we're seeing the step up in pressure.
Could be why Scott Hicks also did call that timeout.
Nice pass on up ahead and hauled down. A penalty call coming up. Going to the net hard.
Must be a hold, yeah.
Yeah, Cialis was going to the net hard and draws the penalty.
Yeah, speed will do that. You can't teach speed, and sometimes you don't keep skating on the back end. And the only way to prevent a goal is to get your team down by 1 player for the next 2 minutes. We'll see if Michigan State can got to be careful with that. Those two schools do not like each other. Got to be careful, but a good job by Michigan State. Sometimes the penalty's better than off than a goal, especially if you have a good penalty kill. And this tournament, we've seen some remarkable penalty kills.
Yeah. So Schroeder in the penalty box for the trip. Michigan State on the regular season killed off 92.6% of the penalties they were dealt with.
It's a pretty solid penalty kill there.
That's a decent number. Miami scoring 17.4% on the regular season.
I want to be around that 20% mark.
Which yet in the women's D1 is 12th in the nation.
Yeah.
Step in. Return pass is broken up, and it'll be sent up and eventually out to center. Back for this now is Van Allock.
That's good speed through the neutral zone from Van Allock if she peels off for a change.
Good keep at the line this time. Emily Sloan tried to step through. A secondary help comes in for a shot and a save made by Hamer, and she holds on.
Yeah, Emily Sloan, you got to make sure that she stays off the puck. On the year, 21 points, 11 of those coming on assists. So she is quite the playmaker for the Red Hawks out of Ohio.
Face off to the right of the Michigan State goal. Red Hawks control. Puck that goes down low. Red Boys steps in. Turnaround pass to the blue line. Sarah Peterson. A shot off from the number 22 of Natalie Hornbuckle is wide. Played down low, Venro Boys. Going around the net. Left wing circle shot misses high and wide. The rebound out to center.
It's a pretty good pass box penalty kill from the Spartans. Part of the reason why they were only 1% on the kill.
This gets sent down again. Retreating is Hornbuckle. Up the far side boards. The second pass is into the Spartan zone, but cleared around the boards. Power play is over. Onside play in the zone. Here's a slap shot that's blocked. You're seeing a few of those, Boz.
Yeah, Miola doing a good job. She's still shaking off that right arm. That's a hard shot, and you know, it's the life of a defenseman, doing the dirty work, getting in front of those blocking lanes, making sure the puck doesn't get to the goaltender. Sometimes you'll need a couple ice bags after the game.
Nice move and a save and a hold on by Hamer. Yeah, we've been down that road before with ice bags after games.
Well, Darby Edmondson was coming far post, and she would have had a wide open net if they were able to find her on a pass, but just couldn't do it. And this game still knotted at 0 after about call it 38 minutes. That's right.
Yeah, you're good on that.
Okay, just want to make sure my brain's still working. You know, still kind of early coming from the West Coast.
Yeah, this is true. That's an 8 o'clock start for you, which means a 6 o'clock wake up. I'm an East Coaster, so this is supposed to be later.
A little more favorable for you there, Brett.
My kids don't exactly help out any. There's an onside skate into the zone.
Early mornings, getting a little earlier in the in Brett's household.
So actually, I've been sleeping a little bit later as normal because my normal wake-up time would be 6 o'clock Central. Just to give you an idea. A shot from the blue line bounces around a little bit.
It was more of a vacation from. We won't say that. The kids might be watching.
No. Trevor and Serena, I love you. My daughter would be thrilled to be watching the women play hockey here.
Maybe a future Red Hawk or Spartan watching from home. I'm sure there's a couple as well.
Yeah, if she ever wants to pick it up for sure. Oh, that's a nice rebound there off the post and in! And Miami on the board first. Darby Edmondson, 1-0 Red Hawks.
Yeah, Darby Edmondson. That was the thing too. Was that the key was the rebounds, and that's where Miami struck. Darby Edmondson just doing a a good job of going to that far post, looking for something in front. We take another look at it here. Here comes a shot from the left, and then it was left out in front, and it was a good first save. But the thing, if you're a defenseman, you do have to get back, and yeah, you can see that Michigan Spartan player just kind of put on the brakes. Feet stop moving. Edmondson coming in hot. She gets a goal.
So Edmondson gives Miami the 1-0 lead. 6 goals in the regular season for Darby Edmondson, and gets the first tally of the Women's Division I Championship Tournament.
Yeah, tied for 3rd on her team with points over the year. Miami, you know, definitely a high offensive team, but kind of think of Miami a little bit on the defensive end, and usually we think Michigan State, they have about 5 players that are over the 40-point mark on the year. Maddie Wolzman, the only player with 40 points.
I was about to say for a moment behind the net, the human body is not supposed to twist in certain ways. Fortunately, all of these athletes have more pliable bodies than I do. And so getting twisted around but not injured, it was Cialis there.
Maybe might want to try out yoga to help out with that.
At some point, I mean, listen, my legs will still be flexible once I get them worked over again. I'm not so sure about the torso though. Onside into the zone and trying to center was Graham. That's broken up to the blue line for a blast at the horn. And so we've had our first goal of the game, and it goes to the Miami Redhawks, courtesy of a goal-mouth crash by Darby Edmondson. 1-0 Miami after 2.
Yeah, maybe that timeout worked out. Scott Hicks kind of knowing what buttons to push to get his team going right now. Is I think too, looking on the other bench, you kind of saw Michigan State kind of giving the camera a good old wave as they ended up on the big screens here in the arena. And you know, Michigan State by no means are out of it, but what matters is the fact that Miami has that goal. But you know, when you play a loose team, they're always dangerous because of the fact that they're still loose. They're having fun with the moment right now.
Our score after 2 periods of play: Miami 1, Michigan State 0. This is the 2019 ACHA Women's Division I National Championships on the ACHA Network.
Please support them as they've supported us. My Mary Sportswear, the official merchandise supplier of the 2019 ACHA National Championships. Visit the merchandise table on the upper concourse of Comerica Center for all your 2019 ACHA Nationals hats, shirts, sweatshirts, and more. My Barron Championship Rings, the official ring vendor for all ACHA National Champions and ACHA Hall of Famers. Every championship ring has a great story. Let Barron share yours. My Budget Car Rental, the preferred car rental agency of the ACHA. Discounts and special benefits are available for all ACHA membership and fans, as detailed on the ACHA website. Budget Car Rental, get out of the ordinary. By the Dallas Stars. When you're not watching exciting ACHA action here at Nationals, consider taking in an upcoming Stars game. By Edge Protect, the official ACHA 2019 Nationals provider of goalpost warm-up skate protection, protecting skate blades all over the world since 2004. They are also the official provider of the Corona Pet goal anchors being utilized here at the 2019 National Championship Tournament. By the Frisco Convention and Visitors Bureau, visit Frisco.com. By Holding Transportation, a national tournament partner for 2019, Holding is one of the largest, fastest growing, and most respected transportation service providers in the USA. We're glad to have you aboard, and appreciate your support of the ACHA. And yes, that is Holding Transportation truck you may have seen inside the arena today. My Howard Hockey Team, the official hockey team of the ACHA. Howard's Hockey Team, stick with the best.
Come on. You know it, man. Come on, Timmy, you got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus.
Focus. Focus. Take the puck. There you go. Skate. Skate. Pass it. You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck. Come on.
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like it even more than birthday cake.
There are a few things that come along that change the course of history. Inventions or developments that reshape society. They usually aren't appreciated at first. In fact, they're often scoffed at. What good will that be? Surely that can't be practical. But then, slowly, over time, the greatness of these achievements become manifest. Until one day, you ask yourself how you ever lived without them. That's the nature of turning points. They bring us to new roads and new heights. They open doors we never thought possible. So it's important that we go forward together.
I'm here with Gina.
That our growth might not just benefit the great, but the good also. In small ways, and in grand ones.
Stop.
The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much. It is whether we provide enough for those who have too little.
At Wilson Electronics, we push every day to amplify the power of communication, to connect those who love and those who cannot live without it.
Dallas, Texas, in a stadium that has been sold out for months, the Cotton Bowl.
Notre Dame leading 17-14. 1:10 remaining in the game, and Texas will straight at quarterback. Straight. Gives to the second man for a touchdown for Texas.
The 2020 Bridgestone NHL Winter Classic, an annual celebration of hockey's heritage. Tickets on sale April 23rd. The Cotton Bowl, New Year's Day. It's gonna be a classic.
The Dallas Stars have put on camps like this, and we're just really trying to build hockey in the communities around Dallas.
Learn to skate and play hockey for free at Children's Health Star Centers. All throughout DFW, kids ages 4 to 14 can join Rookies programs presented by Lexus. Equipment is included and kids will get a free jersey to take home. For more information, visit dallasstars.com/rookies.
Come on, Timmy, you got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus, focus, take the puck. There you go. Skate, skate. Pass it. You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck. Come on.
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like it even more than birthday cake.
back at Comerica Center. Now we're in here.
Yeah, we're definitely at Comerica Center.
Yep.
The former Dr. Pepper Arena.
Correct, up until about 3 weeks ago. 1-0, Miami of Ohio leads after 2. Third period about to begin. 16-14 the shots in favor of the Redhawks. And I had noticed the scoreboard. After that timeout, the shot totals were 5-1 in favor of the Redhawks.
Yeah, and Scott Hicks, I mean, like we kind of talked about, to the naked eye, like it's a little bit of a baffling timeout. Just to kind of us, it's not where you would standardly take a timeout. Normally, a lot of teams, they feel that they should be taking those timeouts towards the end of the third period when maybe there's an icing call that goes against you, or there's you really need to set up a play in your offensive zone with your goalie pulled and what the situations might be. It all kind of changes at the ACHA National Tournament because you end up, number one, you get 3 extra timeouts with the media breaks. So in actuality, you get 4 timeouts, but I think Scott Hicks just he didn't like what he saw. He saw that his team just needed something to get going, and that's sometimes all it takes for your team to get going. And they ended up getting a goal on Darby Edmondson crashing the net on a rebound, and sometimes those are the messages of, hey, we're grinding this one out. It's really tough. We're all battling really hard, but let's just stay with it. Let's have some fun. We're playing a team that's really loose right now, so we'll probably relax after we get a goal as Crosley makes a save. But let's just keep working hard and see what happens. And sure enough, right before the period ended, Miami, Ohio got a goal.
Crash the net goal at that by Edmondson, the lone tally of the game. Kendall Anderson had the opportunity just a moment ago at the other end. Now this is chipped forward. Onside skate trying to move ahead is Ashley Astor. Puck up the boards, out to center ice, and Red Hawks trying to move forward.
I think sometimes, too, calling a timeout in the middle of the game, it might be a little bit of a mind game as well, just because if you're on the other bench, you see that on the other end they called a timeout. It's an unusual place to call a timeout. And a team that should be playing pretty confident in the Michigan State Spartans, it might just give them an ounce of overconfidence and lead to a lapse that I wouldn't say that it was a complete lapse. I mean, we see players stop skating all the time, but this one just ended up leading to a goal.
Deflection in front and a pad save made by Hamer. Rebound around the boards. Right in front of the ACHA logo, of which there's one on each side of the blue lines there, as you see in the attacking zones.
I'll tell you what, though, Brett, this ice here at the Comerica Center, it's been pretty marvelous throughout this whole tournament, and it's seen a lot of usage, including a double overtime thriller in the men's D1. And we got to give a credit to the Comerica staff here, who've done a really remarkable job with the facility. I know we've had a couple of hiccups with the glass, but like any good sports franchise, they've done a job of battling back and creating a really great environment for a national tournament.
It's always a great environment too when you're able to play in an arena of this size and magnitude.
Yeah. I mean, it was yesterday. It was pretty loud for the championships, and I assume it's going to be just as loud on Sunday for the women's championships. Of course, still a long road to get there.
Speed in the zone and a save made. Good speed that time. Lauren Kramer, number 22, but she's turned aside by Crosley. Now out the other way, the Red Hawks. Now more speed there, but not able to squeeze her way through was the number 18 of Angela Bucci. Center ice. And here's Bucci trying to step forward again, couldn't do so. Bucci comes in just 5 feet tall. Fleury-like quickness, however. If you want to model that game, he could skate back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Martin St. Louis, another one of the more undersized round who still had a great NHL career.
You can skate through all the taller players.
Yeah.
And skate around them.
Just duck under the checks and everything.
Or skate between them. If the right size.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, he needs Dano Chara out there to help you out on the other one. This puck gets put behind the net. Round to the far side boards. Kelly Single tries to move up, couldn't do so. Eventually to the blue line, a cross ice pass. The hole by McManaman, her shot goes wide. Rebound far corner. Astor has it. Put back out to the point, a wrist shot deflected on goal, save made and held on to by Crosley.
Yeah, I think in front there was a good battle between Kendall Anderson and Sarah Peterson, the defenseman for Ohio. Anderson camped out in front of the crease trying to create a problem in front of Crossley, and of course trying to clear her out was Sarah Peterson. That's been a good battle all day, and I think that's something that we're going to key on in the series. And crazy enough to think we only have 15 minutes left in this first game, potentially.
We have not had many whistles in this game. There's a pass out front that's blocked down.
It's going to be a playthrough game.
Yeah, but then again, we've been used to the first week having games that take 2 hours and 15, 2 hours and 20. There's a shot just across. Crosley stayed with it all the way. You know, we've been used to that, and then we're going to get a shot save made. We're going to get a game that's going to be in the 2 hour neighborhood. You know, and that's an extra 15, 20 minutes. What's going on here?
Yeah, talk about pace of play, and I think hockey kind of has it figured out with pace of play, including the men's game. Even though they have a lot more stoppages than what we've seen here. Is
shot save made and held on to off the attempt from Emily Sloan.
But yeah, I mean, like going back to it, I mean, you look at all the three other major sports in America, and you know, basketball might be the closest. They do have to do something about the last 2 minutes, but you know, I think all the sports do have a downside, and of course hockey's is the intermission, because I mean 15 to 18 minutes before you see action again is it's kind of a long time, but it's a necessary thing that you have to have in the sport, because anyone who's played on chopped up, chewed up ice, especially when the game matters, it's frustrating because you don't get a good roll. The puck doesn't slide the way that it should. There's nooks and crannies in the ice, and of course all the snow buildup along the walls in front of the goal crease, and even sometimes in the middle of the ice sheet.
We saw some of that snow buildup in the men's D2 final yesterday.
Yeah.
Here's a skate out, 2-on-1, down low in front. What a save made and held on to. A brilliant pass in front by Pugliese, and a brilliant save on the tip attempt down low by Hamer.
Yeah, Amanda Pugliese also tied with Darby Edmondson. I think they might have a warring battle right now as we take another look at it. Entering the zone, you can see Pugliese charging the net right there. Excuse me, that wasn't, yeah. Pugliese had the shot. That was Ernie who crashed the net. But I think Pugliese's trying to keep up with Darby Edmondson as Edmondson got the goal, or I guess mid-frame for the Red Hawks.
And Izzy Ernie, number 6, had a brilliant deflection on goal, but only to be matched by Hamer. Puck behind the Miami goal now. Could that be something that turns this game around? A deflection on goal the other end, and a save made, this time by Crosley, and she holds.
Yeah, Brett, we kind of talked about that. If you're a defenseman, not even throwing it on frame, but throwing it into a spot where you have a teammate at so they can deflect it in. And right there, Michigan State almost with that equalizing goal against Miami, and wouldn't that be awesome for all the hard work that the Spartans have put into this the first two periods and some change.
By the way, I definitely rate the paint scheme on the goal mask of Ripley Crosley. I definitely rate it. It is sweet.
There's been some You know, most of the time we see just the plain white or the plain
plain white or black.
Yeah. But looks like Crosley getting the artwork done.
Crosley with some nice artwork on it. As this one goes, what penalty call coming up? It's going to be against Miami.
Yeah, it should be a trip.
There's the whistle. Trip or interference? Take your pick.
Some kind of there you go. Well, I was wrong. Brett was right, but the result's still the same. Someone's going away for 2 minutes. Looks like the guilty party is Van Allock, who's been in the midst of a lot of plays so far. 16 PIMs on the year, so kind of a grinder a little bit, but definitely involved offensively as she racked up 15 points throughout the season. But we'll see what happens on this penalty kill. Is one of their best defenders is in the box for 2 minutes.
Second time she's been in the box today. Both teams 0 for 1 on the power play in this game. The other player who served time in the penalty box is Amelia Schroeder. That for Michigan State, who is on the power play now. Big slap shot before a pass on the left wing circle. That lifted up and over the bar. Rebound, another wrist shot by Walsman, knocked aside. Rebound behind the net, slugged around the boards, but not quite out. Walsman centered in front, another tip and another save.
That's the right idea. Michigan State's the first half of their power play identical to the first one that they had. A lot of the chances coming up because they have two players parked out in front of the net, one on a post, one right in front of the goalie looking for an opportunity, and your defenseman just looking to send this to the net and get a deflection, almost a goal a couple of times, and right now doing a good job of walking this into the zone.
Walsman pulls up at the blue line. Now another throw towards goal was deflected down. A lot of deflections in this period, Boz.
Yeah, and that's the goalie's worst nightmare, aside from not seeing the puck that comes at them, is the puck that changes direction because it's just unexpected.
Here's a 2-on-1 in the zone, a one-timer fanned on.
Yeah, Crum on that. That's the right idea, just not exactly a perfect pass, but that's the right idea if you're the Spartans.
Backhand attempt goes up and over the bar, courtesy of Morgan Graham. 8 to go on the power play. Puck down low. It's going to be tied up back there. Graham comes in to help out. Curl over at the circle. Power play is over. Michigan State 0 for 2 with the man advantage. Down to the ice, Van Allock, I should say. Now the rebound comes out to center. Here come the Red Hawks, 2-on-3. Still the skid and Van Allock with some speed. That shot blocked off. Van Allock is a defenseman, but boy, can she move.
Yeah. Again, tied for fourth on the team in points. So I mean, she's one of those, not just an offensive defenseman, but a two-way player, and always a plus if you're a coach, because you have a player who can not only just join the rush, but can play soundly on the back end.
And win the physical battles as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes the downside of being physical, especially on the women's side.
And see what you can do. Meanwhile, seeing what she can do, there's a forward there on the right wing side, the left wing side, and falling down and actually being forced down as Grimstead had the rush. And a penalty is upcoming. And a power play will be had for Minot State. Coming up next over on this rink here, I'll bring you Northeastern versus the aforementioned Boston College. Meanwhile, we got Assiniboine Community College playing Mercyhurst. So if you're going to get off YouTube, that's the only place you should move to. The other ACHA Division II women's hockey game, and probably a good one going on over on this rink, that rink. Look at this end-to-end rush and a chance, and Render made that save. It was a very good rush, moving at the length of the ice by Schmidt. Gravel, of course, hear it now, they say Gravel. I'm staying with Gravel. Or Cassie. You know what? She said she wants to be Cassie. Was the note that we put. How about that? We'll go with Cassie. Everybody's happy, and we know that that's right. 6:56 left on the clock. Minot approaching their 80th shot of the hockey game. A free puck going to be gone and picked up by Feltner. Turning back and looking to carry out will be number 27, Lewis. She's got speed. Move it in, left wing side, taking a look. Shot saved by Render. Rebound is going to be cleared away, and it's going to be another penalty, as I think we're going to get a second consecutive tripping call to Rowan. This has been a relatively penalty-free game for the most part. I think there were 2 each way is what we've had thus far. And face-off coming up as they will work 5-on-3 for 50 seconds. D to D straight away now, looking to walk the line. That shot, I'm sorry, I thought that hit the inside of the post and bounced away. It ended up actually going into the net, and Minot State will celebrate for their 14th time today. They get the goal. You can hear the horn sound in the background. Not sure if it was tipped on the way through or if it was the original shot that got right on, but anyway you cut it, it's a power play tally. And they still have 1:51 left on their second opportunity. Back to 5-on-4 at this point. Gowdy just tipped it in. Rolls on in deep, and a good job there as it's cleared the length of the ice. As the penalty kill goes back to work for the Profs. Nice steal there, and they just end up flipping it further into the corner. Take a little bit more time off the clock. Lima had a little bit of a time kill there as she forced the play. They bring it on in. Fake wind up. And now center through the middle and a redirection home. Boy, that was a really, really nice play on a redirection home. Coming down the middle of the ice, coming home down Broadway. It was just tipped in, and Minot State will strike again. With 5:54 to go. Shots in this one at 82-17. So Render, it's crazy it made the best that they can, clearing it away. But at the end of the day, just maybe a little too many Beavers for the Profs on this one. Minot to the middle. Little spinorama play. Looked nice there by Barnson. Barnson's got it. And now it's played along into the far side corner, and Henry looking to make a play. Throws it down low. They got players moving to the front of the net. Instead, they go back up high. It was Barnson again. There's a point shot and a save as they got through in the rebound, and that's going to be tucked home as it came loose. And again, it was the original shot was stopped, but it was Wickham on the rebound, parked off next to the net, and she will put it in. And you see there a couple of teammates consoling Render. Again, not sure what she could have done in this one differently to keep her mates in it. As the shot clock would suggest, been a heavy game in favor of the Beavers. So they look like they'll pick up the big points here to start pool play. That pass is ripped across, and then it dropped down through the middle. Nobody home for the Beavers, and now they're coming back the other way. The Profs move it up, full speed ahead. Trying to get in deep there and pushing, making the skate. There was Cassie.
Come with 5:56 to go in the third. Redhawks lead 1-0, and now the Spartans are in desperation time if they don't want to fall behind 1-0 in this series.
Yeah, and that's always tough. The face-off going to come back into the Spartan zone. Yeah, I mean, especially when you play a series, that we put a lot of emphasis on that first game, and rightfully so, because it's you have to win too.
Shot up and over, just missed the top corner.
The team that gets up with that 1-0 game lead, you kind of play with house money in that second game, and it allows you to play a lot looser, and no one likes their season ending. And the thing is that when your season is on the verge of ending, the natural tendency is to play a little bit tighter, especially with a group of teammates that you enjoy being around.
This up ice. Now the move back. It's interesting that they play this semifinal route. as opposed, you know, the best of three, I should say quarterfinal round,
Yeah.
the best of three quarterfinals. But there is room for error.
There is. There's a little bit of breathing room. I think if you're Michigan State, though, regardless of the end result of this game, it sounded like we had an offside there, but regardless of the result, if you're Michigan State of this game, I think you're in a good spot because shot totals just over to Miami's side, but for the most part, I think you've generated, and your puck possession time is pretty solid. I don't see a whole lot of reason for Michigan State to just to hang their head after this game, and there's a couple of nooks and crannies and a little bit of things that yeah, like you can improve on. Any team can, and the teams that usually win are the teams that are best at adjusting to that. But if you're Michigan State, you have a lot of good things to take away from this goal or from this game, especially if you're down by one game.
Unlike in we see it in men's Division II and Division III where they have group play, 4 teams in a group. You lose that first game, the margin for error is less.
Yeah.
Here, at least, your opponent is right in front of you the next day. So
it allows for a lot of adjustment, and I think what series show is not just it shows your depth as a team, as a coaching staff, and as a team, because it shows it over a period of time. And group play kind of provides a different example, because with group play, it's more on how did we adjust during the game, and how do we make adjustments to the next game, and how will the other team adjust to us.
Right.
So there's a lot more factors into it that makes it real tough on coaching staffs and players. Whereas you end up playing a series, it really shows who the better team is over a period of time between multiple games. And I think that's why series in some points are a little more favorable than pool play. But I think what pool play also offers is the chance to see how great you can really be against other teams in the country on any given day and on any given night.
I'm all for series, both sides at the ACHA level.
Yeah.
I kind of have I have this thing for a best of series. There's a penalty call coming up. It's behind the net. A checking body contact penalty will be called.
That's the first one we've seen, and it comes almost 60 minutes into the first game. But I'm sure as this tournament rolls along, we might see a little bit more. Looks like Andrea Rieta is the guilty party of it. But just going back to it, sometimes with group play, it affords opportunities for you to play teams that you otherwise wouldn't seen it and probably wouldn't see it. And I think one of the things we talked about during the break was like in the men's D2 was North Carolina State. No one thought they were going to get there.
Right.
And they ended up getting there, and it was, for them, it was a good time.
Montana State's another one nobody thought would get there, and that magical run that they had, centering pass goes all the way through. Of course, Allegiant Air helped them out with that. But, as an 11 seed in the region, being able to go through the regional tournament, win 3 games, and then come here to national was an experience for them as well.
Yeah. Of course, we'll have to give Southwest their plug. They are our official airline sponsor, and, Southwest, especially out to Dallas, has been it's a pretty cool experience for the Southwest. Of course, Southwest, big news, open up flights to the Hawaiian Islands.
Ooh. Yeah, now we know about them.
Yeah, well, from Oakland, it's a $49 flight. So
yeah,
one of the best deals out there. Southwest Airlines, move about the country. Wow, how's that for a plug?
There you go. You're now free to move about the country. Is right. There's a wrist shot save made and held on to.
Emily Sloan kind of free to move about the slot right now, being on the power play. Of course, in the goaltender, some saves. Kind of not quite tense times if you're Michigan State, but you would like to see an equalizing goal.
Puck rolls out to center ice and then back into the Miami zone. Michigan State pressure, turn around, nope, good back check that time by Van Roboys. Center ice, couple players go down, snow buildup on their uniforms. Cross ice pass, Peterson now, slips it on further. Move into the zone by Cialis. Put back to the blue line, shot is a save, rebound in the corner. Gathered by Van Roboys. Cialis over there as well. Puts back out to the point and gets the return pass. Winds and fires, saves,
look out.
Off. Puck dropped just behind the net. Still Miami with it. Penalty is over, back to 5-a-side, but there's a minute 12 now to go here in the third.
Yeah, good pressure from Miami right now. If you're perfectly fine with this because, number one, you still get offensive opportunities. Number two, you keep the goaltender and Hamer in the net.
Now the Spartans get to skate up ice. Hamer starts to go to the hash marks.
She's still creeping up there. Now she goes.
And moving a shot over the bar, courtesy of Lutz. Extra attacker on for the Spartans, down 1-0, 40 seconds to go here in the third period.
Michigan State just finished up their change.
Center ice with it again, Morgan Graham. He's had himself a pretty decent game here, just hasn't found the back of the net. Wrist shot fanned on, second shot fanned on as well. 23 to go, third period. Spun back towards the low corner by Jankel, but it couldn't quite get there. A shot blocked off. Rebound still kicked around. 10 to go here in the third. That shot whistles wide. Near side corner. Trying to win, and Miami will survive game one. They win 1-0 to take a 1-0 series lead.
Yeah, one that Miami definitely earned, and their rushes came on breakaways. It was almost 2-0 if you're Miami basically, because you played solid defensively and you generated some odd man rushes going back the other way. So if you're Miami, that was a heck of a job getting that win. If you're Michigan State, by no means, I don't think you should be disappointed in the way that you played. Just disappointed with the result.
And so handshakes will ensue. Miami wins this one 1-0 after Michigan State. Miami had beaten Michigan State 4-3 earlier in the season. And so Miami leads this best-of-3 quarterfinal series 1-0. They will play game 2 tomorrow. Boz, your final thoughts?
Yeah, I know both teams are pretty loose. Hopefully Michigan State can still keep that loose attitude. I think they played a great game. So, I mean, the one thing that you will have to adjust for is for the goaltender and Ripley Crossley. That's something that you do need to solve between now and tomorrow at 10 a.m. But if you're Miami, I think you're in the right spot. You played a solid defensive game. You got the rushes that you need. You converted on one of the rushes, and you had multiple opportunities. So back for game 2 tomorrow. I think we should be in for another exciting hockey game early in the morning.
Final score, Miami 1, Michigan State 0. Miami leads the best-of-3, 1-0. For everyone here, thank you for watching this presentation of the ACHA Women's Division I National Championships on the ACHA Network. Next game coming up is a 3-6 game at 1 p.m. That's going to have Lindenwood Belleville taking on Grand Valley State. Until then, have a good afternoon, everyone.